The Chiefs offense, I'm looking at the Mahomes stat line. When I see 15 for 29 for 184 yards, an interception, and a rushing touchdown, my question is, what did he do in the second half? But that was the full game. And it's become perfunctory to check the box and say, let's hear from Mahomes talking about the struggles of the offense. So let me check the box and say, let's hear from Mahomes talking about the struggles of the Kansas City offense.
Yeah, I think I've learned kind of as my career has gone on that you can't get caught up in like the hype and like the show of playing. I've been in a lot of football games where we scored a lot of points and lost, and I promise you, when you win football games like this, it feels a lot better. And so I think I don't know if that's just kind of with experience, but I kind of preset to these guys when they were kind of running the ball and trying to really grind the clock through. I said, don't let that affect how we play. Let's continue to just execute and go out there and put points on the board because our defense is playing the way that they're playing. And so you have to learn how to manage games. You have to learn how to win football games whenever it's not pretty. And I think we've done a great job of that this season.
You know, that idea of keeping Mahomes on the sideline next to the Gatorade bucket was the only way to defend him until the Patriots provided the original hints of the blueprint in the 2018 AFC Championship game. And if you were to say to him, name game number one where you scored a lot of points and didn't win, that kind of proves what you're saying, it would be the AFC Championship from 2018. Now, ultimately, they lost the coin toss in overtime, and the Patriots won it. But keeping him on the sideline is key. But even when he's on the field now, the defenses have figured out how to force him to be patient. And I still think he's fighting that desire to let it fly down the field, even when the defense is giving him more easy opportunities underneath, Mike.
Well, I think like anything else, it's never one thing, that you can just say, oh, yeah, that's the thing, whether he's uncomfortable, taking what the defense gives him. Understand also yesterday, there were a lot of drops. Receivers were dropping balls as well. So that makes your stat line look a little worse than it probably should be as well. So you have drops. You have him as if he's not as comfortable. The run game isn't working the way they would like to work. So for a team that's basically their offense has been running like a machine, the machines, some of the gears have been maybe stripped a little bit or not as running as smooth as has been. And also you have to give credit to defenses as well. They don't just stand idle and say, wow, we're playing Kansas City. They're gonna score 45 points. We better try and score that many as well. You're going to try and stop them. You're going to do things. That's why everybody's talking about how, playing a lot more cover two against them. You're going to adjust. You're going to try and make them be more uncomfortable because they're used to making you feel uncomfortable. So it's a number of those things. Can Patrick Mahomes stay at that high level as consistently and long? Long is a relative term. It's been a couple of years. Long is Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers and such. This has been a couple of years, but it has been like shooting star greatness. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is broken. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is done being a great quarterback in the NFL, but they have to adjust to what's going on right now from the defenses being played by other teams to how they're executing on offense by either him making a wrong decision or holding the ball too long or his receivers dropping the ball or the O-line not having some great run blocking. It's a team effort.
It is jarring to look at the stats, the team stats from the game, and see total offense numbers of 404 and 267 and realize the Broncos were the ones with 404 and the Chiefs had 267. But I will give them this. They had 24 runs to 29 passes, which is not something we're accustomed to from an Andy Reid offense. Maybe that's one of the benefits of the bye week and having the extra time. He could really tell himself, we really are going to run the ball, even though Clyde Edwards-Helaire has yet to live up to the promise that we saw in that very first game, his debut, 2020, the Thursday night game against the Texans, and he had over 100 rushing yards. They got their guy. He has struggled to get to that level, but last night, 54 rushing yards, 28 receiving yards for Edwards-Helaire. That's something they're going to, because they just need somebody other than Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Byron Pringle or Demarcus Robinson or Josh Gordon, who they're still waiting for him to do something in that offense. It can be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They just haven't got to the point where I think they can consistently count on him, Mike.
No, listen, I agree. Having that next person is a key thing. But also, I think what's helping them right now as well, Mike, is the defense. So while you're finding your way on offense, and they are finding a new way on offense, I mean, I think we all understand that. What keeps you in games right now? You still expect greatness out of Pat Mahomes, but you don't get it as often as you got it in the past. And again, as I just talked about, it's a combination of things. But while that's going on, your defense is playing better. And that's key, and that's going to be really key come to the playoffs. Once you get to the bad weather and such, is your defense playing better, they're forcing turnovers. Now, that's something you can't count on every game. It's on our goal sheet for every game to force X amount of turnovers, but sometimes they can be hard to come by, and sometimes they come in bunches. You just don't know. But if that defense can keep playing well, again, maybe they're not winning games, 38-33. Maybe they're winning them 22-9, or 24-20, or 20-17. But that's okay. Again, this isn't a 13-person committee where we just saw them pick the final four for college football playoffs. This is just get the win, baby. Just get the win and move on to next week.
I really am stunned by the failure of Josh Gordon to get to the point where the Chiefs wanted him to be. When he first joined the team, Patrick Mahomes told me after one of their wins that he's so excited. The guy's got a great work ethic. He started last night's game. I don't understand this. Maybe it was a personnel grouping thing, but he was one of the two starting receivers to begin the game, but was only on the field for 13 snaps and wasn't targeted a single time all night long. So not working out the way that they thought it would, but I think they keep waiting and hoping. Maybe, by the time the playoffs roll around, they start getting something from Josh Gordon.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.